What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series. We're starting things off today with the Roxie civilian transport. I'll read the description. I don't remember. Something with Roxie in it. I'm bad with names. So yeah, at some point I really need to go back to doing the cross title bar with the person who built it and all that. In case anyone was actually wondering what happened to that, while we kind of do an overview of the outside here, I had a hard drive crash at one point, and those PSD files with all the artwork for the corner tiles was in it. So that's why the Inspiration series hasn't had those title bars in a while. So I really need to just go back and redo them. I just hadn't found the time. So as the name implies, or what I think the name implies, oh, screw it. Forget the name. In the description, you can actually find it. It says that it is a civilian transport, so it is not really designed for heavy combat. It has, I believe, 4 turrets. 2 of them are located right here. One, I think, is on the back. I don't know where the other one is. There's the other one. There's one. Where's the other one? Anyways, there's 4 somewhere. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Bottom of the hangar. Okay, bottom of the ramp. So it has 4 turrets on it and a light armor hull, but primarily the hull is designed more for asteroids and collisions and things like that. It's not really designed for combat. It's a civilian transport ship for, I think, long distances. I'm not really sure exactly. I think, because there was a part in the description that mentioned it was retrofitted for, a long-distance ship or whatever, so that it had a rec room and things in it, so I don't know if maybe they intend to make another version that's for short flight, who knows. But this particular model was designed more for extended trips, from my understanding. Overall, though, I really like the exterior design and stuff. It has a lot of uniqueness to it that we haven't seen a lot of the same kind of designs, particularly I think this top frame, I think this is using a small grid rotor trick. And we've got conveyors, oxygen farms, a light, a couple of bubbles for cosmetic things. I don't actually see where the rotor is that's making this frame. Ah, okay, so it's there. There it is. I flew right over it. It's right there. So yeah, the hybrid builds are becoming more and more common, of like the large with the small ship grid for detail. It really works. There's another one down here that adds a lot of detail. It looks really good. I really like this. There's a front ramp here that's for rovers and things, I believe. I didn't do as great of a landing job as I thought. I thought I had it more level. Oh well. Where is the button for this? Is there an exterior button for this? There's a sensor for what I don't know. What do we got? Oh, nav blinkers. Okay, that's kind of cool to set up your nav lights or whatever. So I don't see an exterior button for this. There may be one, but I probably am just missing it. So let's go in here. Okay, close, open, hangar door timer. I'm guessing this one's for the ramp then? Or maybe it's all in one. Woo! Blinky lights! Or maybe this ramp is on the hangar door timer, possibly? It's weird, I can't figure out how to open this ramp. Oh, there it goes. It is a part of the timer. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is a pretty unique ramp too. It's like a two hinge ramp kind of thing. Now, if you had done a better parking job than I did, it would have probably come up more flush, and if you had rovers in here, you could easily drive them out. And what is this? Same thing, but from inside the hangar, so that was the exterior button. So I guess the idea is you would only open it from the hangar to release the rovers, and then once you were here, you could click this to close it. That makes sense. There is airlocks, as you can see here. Is there any other doors? I don't think so. There's a room up there. But the airlocks, fairly obvious, it helps the ship because it can transfer atmosphere into space. So you'd need those. Got blast furnace. Ooh, forgot about that one. So the hangar goes that way, B deck goes that way, jump core is this way. Let's actually look at the jump core. Because I feel like B deck might go up, and I don't want to. I want to go floor by floor. So here's all the gyroscopes. This is a nice touch. I like this. This looks to be either... Well, no, it's green, so I'm guessing it's not cosmetic. But those are the upgrade modules for refinery. There it is. So it's connected to the refinery. We got 2 jump drives here. An ore detector. Now, there is one aspect of this ship I'm really interested in, if nothing else. And that's the, in the description it mentions a, what did it say it was? A holographic ore detector? Which sounded really interesting to me. I'm very curious about that. And this is becoming more common too, these, vertical stair things. That's becoming a more common theme. Starboard docking airlock. Okay, I had to actually park the ship when I pasted it in, and I will show why in a minute, but this is the way I came in through the merge block airlock that we saw earlier when we were flying around. I can't figure out these auto doors either. They seem to like auto close, but at least the airlock ones don't auto open, but I don't know if that is for everything or not. A deck, crew rec, and medbay. C deck is cargo hold and hangar. The bridge is that way. We'll tackle that last. Processor goes this way. Ah, okay, so this is timer blocks and programmable blocks. That's all good. That's cool. This looks like engineering. Gravity generator is on. Core temperature. Oh, I like that. Enrichment level, ion polarity. Ooh, I like all that stuff. That's cool. I don't know if that's actually based on anything or not. I don't think there's a core temperature mechanic in the game. There could be. Okay, there's the port airlock, so this brings you into the engineering room kind of thing. Large reactor, batteries, timer block LCD, timer block LCD 2, so that's probably running those two, I'm guessing. Hydrogen tanks, nuclear reactor, more upgrades. That's probably the assembler up there. Can't get a good look at it with all the module upgrades on it. Another ore detector. I really want to check out that holographic one. Okay, so that seems to be all there is on this deck. It's like the bridge and process. Basically all your main stuff. And then... Oh, I like this touch too. Putting the stuff in the ceiling. That makes it look a little more busy. Crew quarters. Let's check it out. Ooh, very nice. I like that. I like that. This is cool. What is this? Crew table light. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. A long time ago in a galaxy far, 3 guesses what they're watching. Oh, that's kind of neat. Where is this rotor, though? See, I've never been able to figure out how to hide these the way that they're doing. Oh, there it is. It's not hidden at all. Dum-dum. It's right in front of your face. Notices, need to order. Okay, so that's like a notice board. We got seats there, got a window. I'm guessing this closes the window. Very cool. Very, very cool. That's the light for the table. I thought there was another button. There was another button. There's 2. Okay. Corner light, crew room lights. Oh, okay, so that turns off those, and then this does what? Those over there. So it's like theater mode. Turn the theater mode on. That's awesome. I like that. Alright. Med bay. Please open. Thank you. Cryo chambers. Medical room. Very nice. Very nice. Oxygen tanks on the side. Can't have too many of those. Well, I suppose you could, but it would be a very strange scenario. Beacon. So you can activate your beacon. I like the busy work too. It's really cool. That's something okay. That gives me Star Wars flashbacks. This looks like, for all of you old school fans that like the old movies, This reminds me of the top part of the tractor beam that Obi-Wan turns off. Like there should be a beam and then another one down there. That's what this shape reminds me of. That I doubt that's what it was actually supposed to be. But just at first glance when I noticed it, that's what it reminded me of. Alright, onto the bridge. Now the bridge is a really cool place to be. Close all hatches, antenna, and a beacon. Okay? That's just lines. I wasn't sure if I wasn't reading that right. So there's lots of cool stuff in here. I have no idea what half of it does. Holo scanner. Okay. Quadrant 3B or scanner, 0.324, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what some of this is actually functioning and what of it is just there for decoration. We got a battery up there. This is crazy, though. I love it. This is really cool. Music player, of course. What's going on over here? Ooh! Location and comms frequency readout, core locks. Gosh! Even if it is all decoration... some of this, like no damage blocks found, I know that's from some of the scripts that are running here, like this. I recognize the M-Master stuff, but I don't know how much of some of the other stuff is. So let's check out this holo scanner. Ooh. Oh, I'm getting heavy sim lag. Heavy sim lag. Okay, so this part, I don't know how accurate it is. I don't know if it just is always going to bring this up, or if it's actually bringing something up because it's detecting something. I don't know that for sure, and it didn't really specify in the description. And then we got the two co-pilot seats down here, which is awesome. And then the main up here, a remote control forward autopilot. Okay. So when we're here, we have the engine power, we have a alignment, horizon readout, damage blocks over there, reactors and info over there, all good stuff. Now, as I said before, oh wait, there's also a back ramp. How do I get there? Is that a back ramp? Or is that just part of the back? Maybe that's just part of the back. I thought this was actually the ramp back here with the red lights, but actually the more I look at that, I don't see that as blast door blocks or anything. I think that's just part of the ship. I can't quite tell, but I'm pretty sure that's just part of the ship. Yeah, I think so. This is the ramp up here. Okay, so I need to find a way to turn that off, or retract it. Docking ports, open, close, hangar door. There we go. So 9. There we go. Now the one caveat to this, general transport, there we go. The one caveat to this is, I did notice it when I first pasted it in, hence my poor landing job, was that in another gravity atmosphere, like a planet or something, it tends to lurch forward over time. And so you have to kind of compensate with that, so the description advises to not leave the cockpit until you have, like, landed and the gears are locked and all that kind of stuff, because it tends to kind of drop forward. And we'll see that right now as it kind of drifts. I gotta compensate for it, so let's get up in the air, and then I'll hold off, and as you can watch, it kind of just starts tilting forward a little bit. So that's something you'd have to keep in mind if you're flying in an atmosphere, is that it's going to do that. But overall, let's test her out. I mean, with these 3 hydrogen thrusters and everything, it should be pretty powerful. Acceleration's pretty good. Actually, yeah, it flies really nice. I don't know how braking would go, but it seems to do okay. Yeah. So overall, it's pretty balanced. It flies pretty nice. I like it. So that's going to do it for this one. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have the Colony. Now, you might notice I'm not flying around too much. I have 6 frames on this one, and I really debated on whether or not I wanted to do it because it was going to be such a slideshow, but ultimately it just looked really cool, and I really liked... I mean, the whole point of inspiration is to inspire and do creative and unique things, and this is super different, and so I really wanted to show it, but you're going to have to bear with me as I have an abysmal frame rate on this, and it's going to basically be a glorified slideshow. But the idea of this is really freaking awesome. that basically this is like a city in space as a colony, but we haven't really seen anything quite like this in Space Engineers, to my knowledge, before. In that it's not like a military base or, you know, it's not like it's floating around somewhere or something. It's actually looks more like a city encased in glass, which is a really different. It's a really different look kind of thing than we're used to. And so I really wanted to show it, but like I said, I apologize. Full disclosure that I know it's bad. I know the frame rate is terrible. I just really wanted to show it off, at least briefly, at least a little bit. I thought it deserved mentioning, and so on. So as you can see, I think the coolest part to this whole idea is that you basically end up with like a city inside a space station kind of thing, or inside a whatever, like a glass encasement. There's connectors and merge blocks there. Why you would ever need to merge this with anything, I have no idea. Or could even. I'm actually really surprised things like this get built. I don't know what rigs people are using, because I've had a lot of people comment on my inspiration series with most of the time with, I wish Space Engineers ran like that for me. And then granted, I've done some work on mine to upgrade its graphics card and RAM and all that kind of stuff. Welcome to Side A. So I guess this is like a lobby airlock where everybody waits for it to be pressurized. Survival ready, alternative energy compatible conveyor system throughout oxygen. So yeah, I'm guessing this is the airlock area where everybody goes in there and sits, and then this door seals and this, you know, all that stuff. I guess that's my guess. Walmart over there, you know, just because. I'm not sure what this is over here, these green squares, unless it's supposed to be some kind of like park sitting area type of thing. I really don't know. The description was fairly bare bones, so as far as explaining what each and every building is for and how it works, I don't know. And like I said, because this is so terrible on the frame rate, I probably won't be going in and out of every building or anything like that. I'm probably just going to do a fly through and just kind of show it off. Escalator's an easy way around the colony. There are some kind of elevators or escalators or something that, like they just mentioned. I think this is some kind of luxury hotel or something. So yeah, very massive build. I mean, I can't even... Man, I get proud of myself when I complete a ship. And I'm like, hey, I'm done with a ship. I mean, you guys know, you had to stick with me through all of my builds and everything. So, yeah, I don't know... I don't know how people do this stuff. I mean, not only can my rig not handle it, but I don't know if my patience could handle it. To be continued. Oh gosh, they're not done. Dear Lord. Well, I was excited about this. They're not even done with it yet. Well, I mean, they are. It wasn't labeled as a work in progress or anything, but apparently they have plans for greater additions, which is crazy. So, yeah, like I said, that's probably the command room up there that runs the place, I'm guessing. Ooh, it looks fancy, too. Fancy schmancy. There is one mod in this entire build. It is a world file, so you don't have to figure out where it is. But it was some kind of toilet mod for the bathrooms. Because, you know, space engineer, astronauts gotta poop. That comes from the description. That's actually how the description worded it. Oh, here we go. Do we have gravity here? We don't. Okay, so this is supposed to be a mag boot spin around to side B, I guess. It's in between the hangar and the airlock. I got it. So now we're on side B. Okay. And let's do a quick fly through here. Again, you don't have to comment on, hey, the frame rate was bad. Yeah, I know. I really just felt like this deserved showing off a bit. So I'm trying. I honestly wasn't sure if I could run it or not. Refineries. Anaheim Electronics. Ooh, electronic stores. I want to go in. If only. It's a bunch of like the module upgrades and everything. That's cool. Always got to check out the electronic stores, right? I'm trying to turn really slow and stuff too, that it doesn't end up being too jarring. Wellness center. A brand you can trust. There's like advertisements and everything. That's crazy. That's awesome. I could probably have done a little bit easier on like a smaller scale colony with like, you know, instead of luxury apartments, just having like a apartment building or something, or an apartment building. That probably would have worked a little better for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the build, I just can't, my PC can't handle it. Okay, so I'm not going to subject you to anything more. If you guys think you can run it, I highly encourage you to check it out yourself. I'm sure there's a lot more detail work that you could find in some of the buildings. I just don't want to subject you guys to a longer slideshow. So we're gonna wrap this one up and move on to the next one. And so, in the interest of not providing you guys with another slideshow, I give you another slideshow that's slightly better. The name of this, I'm not really sure how it's supposed to be said, so I'm just going to go with Port Chalybe? Maybe? I don't know. Again, this is another one of those that performance-wise is not very nice to my computer, but it's better than the last one, and it also just had to be shown off. In fact, this whole build here actually contains one of the builds that we looked at separately in a previous episode, which is this guy. At least I think it's the same place. This was the mining side cliff base platform thingy-mabobber, which I'm sure was the official name. But this whole place is crazy. It's these floating islands that are held up by these, like, tendril things. It's just so ridiculous. Like, it's so crazy. The description said that it was inspired, like, by stuff like Avatar with its floating rocks and things, which I can definitely see. But, I mean, just the whole tethering everything to the ground and stuff was a nice little touch, too. But I love all these cliff-hanging bases and things. And I do apologize for the frame rate, but these builds were just things that needed to be shown. They're very, I mean, again, the whole premise of inspiration is to inspire, and this, to me, is incredible. I mean, especially when you think, as far as I'm aware, I didn't really check, but I'm like 95% sure this is a modless build. So to think you did all of this with the vanilla game should, in theory, kind of make some people check themselves as far as like you need mods to make the game interesting. You clearly do not. In fact, I would actually hazard a guess and say if you modded this, it probably would never load. But like, this is cool. This like claw spider arm base thing. You know, I'm sure that's what it's actually called. I'm positive. This is really neat, though. This is kind of cool. I don't know what purpose it would serve, but who cares? It's awesome looking. And this tower thing. And again, I probably won't be exploring it as thoroughly as I should, just because my frames are so bad. I'll leave that to people with better rigs and stuff. But I just had to look at this for myself. I thought it looks crazy and cool. We might do some interior work here, because this isn't actually too awful. I'm averaging somewhere between 14 and 18 frames per second. Actually, what's bad is not... My frame rate is tolerable. What's bad is the sim speed. My sim speed is so heavily getting hit that I feel like my frames are worse, even though they're not. I'm running in like slow motion. Like, you can even see that there in a normal gravity situation, the time it takes to jump and land. You know, you can tell that it's really heavily... Sim speed is going nuts. So, actually, it's probably more it's probably not as slideshowy as just slow motion. This isn't too terrible at the moment. I don't know if I can get back out up here. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I don't even know, like, what places would be for what, as far as if there's any particular purpose for each of these buildings or whatnot. Unless there's a sign posted, I have no clue. You know what this honestly makes me think of? Just full, just real talk for a minute. This honestly makes me think of, when you had, like, a Lego car as a kid. You're, like, putting Legos together and you have, like, a car. And then for, like, Christmas or birthday or something, you get, like, one of those city kits where you can just build this entire base, and you just looked at it when as a kid, like, looked at the box and you're like, that's kind of how I felt when I saw this. It was like, I've been building, like, a ship, a shuttle, a Corvette, whatever, and then this popped up in my workshop feed and was just like, what is this? It was like, what is going on here? Oh, now this is cool. I recognize weapons. I'm a weapons guy. I recognize when there's missiles involved. Alright, what do we got here? Because if I'm guessing this correctly, this is actually a rotatable tower turret, which is crazy. When the turret is not reacting, access the terminals on the turret and the cannon and convert them to ships. So there's the rotor right there, with probably a big enough displacement that this can turn. Oh, that's awesome! That is so cool. It's like an actual, like, AA gun. That's crazy. So it can rotate that part of the tower, and then inside, I'm guessing, is another vertical rotor to control the altitude, or the angle. Yep. Oh, that's so cool. I'm stuck. I can't get in here. Oh, that's neat. That is so cool. There's the conveyor plugged in through that. Dude. That's pretty nuts. That's pretty nuts. I love it. Oh, what is that? Is there just like an autopilot patrol ship going on? I think it is. I think it's just autopilot patrolling. I gotta figure out how to do that. Make ships fly without people. Because quite frankly, for all of you that are aware... Oh, and it's moving and everything. It's got like wings and stuff. What? Oh, it's got little jaws. What is this ship? Because that's freaking awesome. Oh, it's got a tail. Dude, seriously, everything about this build is just epic. I mean, I know my particular video with the frame rate and sim speed is probably not doing it justice, but in terms of builds, this is probably one of the most ambitious and crazy and most detailed builds I've probably featured, period. I mean, I could be wrong. We've had some pretty impressive stuff, but this is insane. In a good way. Like, in all the right ways. Like, this is nuts in all the right ways. I will say, also, personally, just from seeing how my rig's performing, I probably could have done better if this wasn't mounted to a planet, but, like, just these rocks became, like, some kind of asteroid base and was floating out in empty space. I probably could have had a stable frame rate, but including a planet and everything, I think it's just too much to get a solid FPS on this. But for me, anyway, I'm sure there's some crazy people out there that it's like, oh, I get 120. Because, there's always that person that just has a overpowered PC. Or correctly powered, depending on your builds that you're doing. But yeah, I don't know how stuff like that. I don't know how you build stuff like this. I really don't. I'm left kind of in awe at people that do this kind of stuff, because yeah, just the time and detail, man. I thought building like my one Star Destroyer ship thing was hard. I don't even know how you do this stuff. It's awesome though. I'm so thankful that they do. So anyways, I think that's all the time we have for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. I will see you all next time. Peace.